And that the consequence of that is often you as employees and the people you employ have multiple applications to deal with, which makes interactions like customer support very difficult. We came up with the idea very quickly of having something called traffic lights and time warp to make an agent's life easier. We've improved the employee experience because I can now see things at a glance. I've colored-coded things that needed attention. I've improved the customer experience because now when they call with an issue, I instantly know if their balance is overdrawn and whether they have active fraud alerts. And you'll notice that not only have I unlocked Postgres and MySQL databases into Salesforce, but I bet you couldn't tell the difference between my components and Salesforce components, because I spend a lot of time on looking at the user experience to make sure that people don't know the difference. The worst thing about Salesforce, you can tell it's a good Salesforce project when they've done a custom component and it sticks out like a sore thumb on the page. It looks very different from the standard Salesforce experience. That's someone that hasn't really invested enough time in looking at the user experience, because there is a Salesforce Lightning design system. There is a whole design paradigm that if you follow, you can make anything look like this. Okay, next slide, please. So the key to what we built, very quickly, in 30 minutes, was the fact that I was using the Anypoint platform. Because the first question I get asked when you do integration is, why don't I do this in AWS? Why don't I do it in Heroku? Really what we've just done is create some code to retrieve something, query a database, and give it back to me. And that's because the Anypoint platform doesn't just let you build APIs, which is the sort of bit we've briefly covered today. It also allows me to deploy it, secure it, and monitor it. Because those are the bits, if you're using Heroku or AWS, you would typically have to pay extra for. You get built into the Anypoint platform. And really what it's unlocking is, I picked these from the MuleSoft website because they're stats that hopefully make a little bit more sense to you now. When MuleSoft says 78% faster time to market, they really mean you now have a tool called Anypoint Code Builder that lets you graphically build integration flows using pre-built connectors. That's systems you often use like Postgres, MySQL, Salesforce, SFDC. Increased productivity because I'm not writing code, I'm dragging from a palette of pre-built components into a graphical layout. And lower operational costs, we didn't cover this today, but I'm deploying to managed infrastructure that is monitored for me, and I can see some nice stats about how often my APIs are used and by which parts of the business. The last slide. The good news is, if you want to contribute to Time Warp, I've open sourced the code. So that sliding timeline is available on GitHub. I am no expert in any of this, but there are people